Well, delulu besties, welcome. This is a safe space to vent, talk shit, reflect, and most importantly, keep it real. It's better to trauma dump here so that we don't explode on innocent randos. Just admit it. You're bothered. What's up, delulu besties? Welcome back to another episode of Balancing the Bullshit. You guys, I have been living my best life ever. I've been in New York for about 2.5 weeks, and I have about 2 more to go. It just feels so nice. First of all, I think to leave, your environment for a little bit, and then to be somewhere else, it just re-energizes you, usually, I think, if you're in a good environment. But also, there is something so magical about this city. I love how authentic everybody here is. In a lot of other communities, everybody's kind of the same. You fit in a place or you don't, you know what I mean? And here in New York, it's so refreshing walking around, and it's not like that. You don't look around and you can tell who fits in or who doesn't. Like, everybody is their own person here and nobody cares. Everybody could be doing their own weirdest thing, saying whatever, and nobody cares. Everybody is respectful of one another, especially coming from Texas, where the Southern thing, how people say how people in the South are really fake. They'll be nice to you, but then talk shit about you behind your back, or people just, like, girls especially, will just glare you up and down, stuff like that. Here in New York, it's so nice how secure everybody is with themselves. I mean, obviously everybody has insecurities, but just walking around, like, nobody glares you up and down here, and you just don't feel out of place because everybody's just authentic. It's so refreshing and down to earth too. This has been the most humbling experience spending so long here, because I have walked by so many celebrities, and even just the neighborhood I'm staying in, the West Village, it's very expensive. So everybody here that lives here pays a lot of money to live here. And you wouldn't ever tell, like, when I imagine, like, oh, the rich and wealthy, I think of maybe pretentious people, or like an environment like LA where it's super flashy. People act like they're above you, but you can't even point them out here in New York. Like, everybody just is themselves. They're authentic. I don't know what other word to use, but that's the perfect way to describe it. It's just so refreshing to be in an environment like this and just feel like you truly fit in, and it feels like home. It's not like other environments where people are super judgy or they do act above you, and then you kind of feel like you don't fit in, or you feel a little bit insecure with yourself. The energy is just totally different here, and I love it. And it's also been great for my business. I swear I've gotten so much work done in the last 2 weeks. I think I've worked the last 2 weeks as much as I have the entire last year. And that's not to say I haven't worked. I work every single day, but just as far as actually getting things done and having breakthroughs and making progress, it's been happening for me. There are amazing resources here in the city for entrepreneurs, and the people that I've talked to are super helpful. They're efficient. They're to the point. They're relatable, because a lot of people here are entrepreneurs. So they have great advice for me. And I've just been able to make so much progress here, which I'm so grateful for. But that's why I haven't been able to record, and I miss you guys, and I just feel so connected and grounded again by recording right now. And I finally get to catch up with my delulu besties and not just be so in the background trying to grow the business. This is a nice break. And today I'm including one of the lessons from my manifesting course. I know manifesting kind of sounds like a woo-woo word, like a lot of people don't know what it means. And one thing I'll say about it is it does seem very confusing in the beginning, but the more that you do it, I guess just like anything else in life, it gets easier, and then you get the hang of it. And I started manifesting as a kid when I first heard about it, just to get materialistic things here and there, or like to accomplish a little goal. And I would do it occasionally. And then in my 20s, it led to me manifesting my dream apartment, my puppy, secure relationship, a six-figure income, because our 20s are really confusing, you know? Like, nobody warns us how hard they are. This is our first time stepping into adulthood, and everybody's like, oh my God, your 20s are so fun. You have the time of your life, which, yes, is true, but also, what the fuck? Like, schools do not prepare us for adulthood, and it's like we get punched in the face trying to figure out what the fuck adulting even is. It's so hard out there. So anyway, eventually I caught on to this manifesting thing when I was like, okay, it's working for these random things that I want to attract into my life. So then I just started using it as a daily practice. Like, all of the exercises that come with it, it kind of just shaped my spiritual practice once I got into Buddhism and yoga. And I feel like now it's almost a part of my identity. Like, it kind of runs my whole life, and it has given me so much confidence and security. I would not be an entrepreneur if it were not for making manifesting a lifestyle for myself, because obviously abandoning your career, your six-figure income, to then become an entrepreneur and have no financial security, no idea what you're doing. I've never ran a business before or started one. All of that, you would think, comes with a lot of anxieties. So the only way that I've been able to get through it is through manifesting. And really, I mean, manifesting, there's so much that goes into it, which I cover in the course. But if I could just simplify it, it really just means getting in tune with your intuition. So rather than seeking for answers outside of you, you just go internally and learn how to use your emotions, your body, your intuition to guide you through life and help you attain your goals. Because there's a ton of noise out there. Think of social media and then all the ads that come on it. There is so much noise out there. Everybody's promising you the dream, promising they'll help you get whatever you want. And then a lot of times it doesn't end up happening that way. And it's not to trash all these solutions that are out there. It's just that it's not a one size fits all for anything that you're trying to achieve in life. Like, everybody is on their own journey and is going to have to take different steps in order to accomplish whatever they want. So manifesting helps you cut out the noise, and it's like your inner GPS that'll show you the way to get to whatever you want in the unique way that's going to work for you. And the lesson that I'm sharing with you guys today, it's all about energy alignment. It's pretty early on in the manifesting course, so it does go into detail, but not so far to where I'll seem like a total alien. It's like a good introductory video, but where it also has enough in-depth explanation. It's like the perfect mix of both. It'll help you gain a solid understanding of the fundamental principles for manifestation, and it explores the connection between your thoughts, beliefs, and emotions, so that way you can become the creator of your reality. And there's a few downloadable exercises and PDFs that come with this lesson, so I'll include them in the show notes. We're all manifesting our lives, whether we realize it or not. So the cool thing is, you might as well figure out how manifesting works. That way you can start consciously creating your future versus just letting life happen to you. You really can make life work for you. You just have to know how to play with the energy fields. And all energy fields are always in front of us, and it's up to us which field we want to play in. Right now, at any point in time, we can choose which energy field that we want to go into. So there's like a low vibrational field, and that is where you see somebody who is like stressed out all the time. They just can't catch a break from life. It's like everything is just happening to them, and they're the victim of life and the world. And then those people that it just seems like everything is always going their way no matter what. Like, their life is just so happy. It's like everything just happens for them. That is when the people are vibrating at a high frequency. So their energy is very clean. They have a good perspective on life. They know that life works for them, not against them. And that's how their realities are related. And when you're able to hold that energy, then you're in that vibrational, energetic field. And there's no negativity, no fear in that energetic field. It's all positivity, optimism, or whatever, wherever you're coming from. That's all that there is in that field. So that's all that's going to be available to you. And that's all that you're going to bring back into your life. And it really is so simple. Like, if you're operating from a place of fear, then you're in the energetic field of fear. So all that's going to be mirrored back to you and to your reality is going to be opportunities that are going to cause more fear in your life. And then vice versa, like if you're very optimistic, then you're going to be in this clean, energetic field that's just full of optimism, and that's all that's going to be reflected back into your life. So it's all about perspective. And once you start to get into the habit of consciously choosing what energy field you want to be operating at, you'll start to notice how things play out in life and of those around you and what the differences are. And you'll start to be able to see, oh, I'm at this energy level, I'm there at this one. When you are in a clear energetic field, abundance is going to start coming to you. But at first, it's going to start small. An easy example might be like, I don't know if you've ever been in a Starbucks drive-through line, and it's happened to me several times where I'll get up to the register to pay, and then they'll be like, oh, the car in front of you already paid for your order, and then I'll pay for the one behind me. So it's like a domino effect, I think. I hope the person behind me keeps it going. If they can't, then I hope they at least were grateful for it. But that is an example of abundance. So I could either be grateful, and usually, that's like, oh, like you feel nice after that. It's like, oh, wow, like I didn't have to pay for my own coffee today. That was really nice. So the more grateful you are, then it's actually such a simple concept. I was going to say, the more grateful you are, then the more you'll start getting it, and it'll get bigger and bigger. It's a simple concept because whatever you focus your energy on, that's what your attention goes to. That's what you're gravitated towards. So yeah, even if it's little things, even if it's not like the big desire that you're asking for, just start being grateful for the little things, because it'll rewire your brain to start looking out for those things, because that's what you're focusing your attention on and your energy. You see how it's all kind of like a domino effect? It all goes together. But I, obviously, since I've been practicing this for such a long time now, I'll notice little things. So if I'm trying to manifest something big, and it's obviously human nature to occasionally fall off energetic alignment and then maybe step into like a toxic energy field for a little bit, and then you've got to hop back into it. But when I hop off of it, then maybe like doubts will start to creep in of, oh, is this desire, am I ever going to get it? Like, am I just, thinking too big? Like, is it actually for me? And a good confirmation will be just a little reminders day to day of the abundance that I'm already surrounded by at all times. So then those are little reminders of like, oh, yeah, of course I'm going to get my desire. Like, I'm constantly being taken care of. So obviously I'm going to get this thing too. Eventually, it's just a matter of time. And it's little things like the other day I was in line to pay for a wristband, and the guy in front of me was like, hey, I accidentally bought an extra one and they won't let me return it. So here, you can have it. Yes, that could have maybe been a random coincidence, but I took it as a moment to be excited and practice gratitude. It felt really nice, just like in the Starbucks drive-through line whenever, it's a nice surprise that my coffee is already paid for. Like, that's so nice. It's exciting. It makes me feel good. So I could react that way, or I could react in a negative, pessimistic way, like, oh, it's about time I catch a break, or, well, no one ever does anything nice for me. Like, I could be in denial about that and be like, wait, are you sure that this is for me? Like, are you sure they paid the right person? Like, not just receiving the gift that's being given to me. This is a habit of how you choose to operate and respond to situations. And think about it in even simpler terms. Think about if I am grateful for like the little free coffee or the wristband, that's fun and inviting energy for then other desires and little like a free abundance gifts to then come play into my world. Like, obviously that's like, oh, she's a fun girl. Like, she seems very loving and appreciative and like enjoyable to be around. Let me come hang out with her. Versus if I decide to react in a negative way, like, oh, well, no one ever gives me free things, or like, well, Are you sure that's for me? Like, think about that sort of a person that would be coming across as. Like, no one wants to party with that version of me, you know? Everybody wants to party with like the cool, nice version of me that's enjoyable to be around. So think about your desires that way. You have to make yourself attractive to your desire. When you're operating from an abundance field, when you're aware and you know that there is abundance all around us, then that is the energetic field that you're playing in. And so the only option once you're in the abundance field is to be surrounded by abundance. There's nothing else in that field. So all that's going to come towards you is abundance, but it starts from your mindset and like what you're telling yourself and how you're choosing to react to situations. You could either see them from stress or fear, or you can choose to look from the lens of love and abundance. If you're hearing this for the first time ever, I know it might sound really confusing and you're like, what is this girl saying? She sounds like an alien. But I promise once you get the hang of it and you try it out, it's so much simpler than what I'm probably making it sound like. And it really just, in order for you to get into the energetic field that you are trying to go in, you just have to make the decision. It's that simple. I'll give you an example. So one of the things about being able to stay in the energetic field that you want to be in is you've got to keep your energy really clean. And so yesterday, after I was at the river with so many people in public, that's so many energies that my field is kind of absorbing. So I did feel this morning when I woke up, like kind of like in an feeling. I wasn't like so happy and light feeling as I usually do. So I was like, that's weird. I must have like picked up some other energies around me yesterday. So one way to clear your energy is to journal. That's what I did this morning. And the hardest thing, it's literally like working out. Like the hardest part is just getting out of bed, getting out of your home and getting to the gym or to the running trail, whatever it is. Like the hardest thing is just opening up your journal and picking up that pen, because at first I was resisting it at first this morning because I was like in a lethargic mood. I was like, I don't feel like journaling. And so I picked it up this morning and the first sentence I typed out was, I don't know why I'm in a weird mood and I don't have anything to say. And then after that, the pen just started flowing. And it's like building a muscle. It's literally like exercising or training for any sport. The more that you do it, the easier that it gets, and the more words that'll start to come out. So it's just picking up the pen, writing, literally, I don't know what to say, or I don't want to do this. Whatever you need to write, just write it. And then the words will start coming to you. And it's like your pen just starts flowing. And there's just something so therapeutic about journaling. It helps you release so much that you don't even realize that you're carrying. So that's one way for you to get back into your clean, energetic field once you've released all the baggage. And another thing is, so like say you have fears coming up, that's going to cause you to bounce off of your clean, energetic field. So you don't want to resist fears or any doubts or limiting beliefs that are coming up. Whenever you're able to go home and journal, tap into that. Allow yourself to explore whatever is coming up without any judgment, because you just have to work through it. It's like releasing any emotion. You could either suppress your emotion and push it down, and then that's bogging you down with your body, and that's what's going to cause you to be operating constantly from a place of stress. But if you get in the habit of immediately releasing your emotions and just honoring them as they come up in the present moment, then, they're out of your body, and then you can go back to operating from your clean field. Like, we're human, so it's natural that like fears, emotions, everything's going to come up. So we just have to allow it to come through, and then eventually it's going to pass. I know sometimes it can be really scary, especially in the beginning. Like when I was the queen of suppressing all of my emotions. And so when I first got into journaling, it was really scary to allow myself to let everything come up and just to sit there with it, because I was really scared that I was never going to get through that because it was so intense of like how much I'd been holding in. But I got through it. So I promise you will too. Another thing that helps you stay at your energetic field, get into it and stay it, is meditation. That's another way of like cleaning up your energy and really just getting you back to yourself and getting clear with what fears, limiting beliefs, thoughts, doubts, everything are crossing through your head. So then you can make the conscious decision to say, oh, okay, I want to get back to this energetic field. Oh, and then also spending time in nature. I don't know what it is about the sun and trees, but like nature is just so re-energizing, and that also helps me clear up my energy. Like I just feel so light afterwards. It's like another form of therapy. So this morning, I walked my dog. Obviously, we were out in nature. I meditated. I journaled. I also painted for a little bit. Art or any like creative form is another really good outlet to clear out your energy. After doing all of that, I did feel lighter. And so then I was in the position where rather than like feeling lethargic, I was able to take my power back. And because I was like back to feeling light, I was like, okay, where do I want to go from here? And I'm trying to manifest wealth right now, like get to the next level in my career. And so I was like, oh, you know what? I am deciding again that I am wealthy. And immediately I just felt the energetic shift. When you start to fall off of it, not only do you start to go back to your old ways of like feeling scarcity or just like you're the victim of your reality. So making that conscious decision just immediately. And also because I'm in the habit of doing it now, but immediately as soon as I was like, oh, you know what? I'm wealthy. Like I don't have anything to stress about. I'm done with all those dramatic stories from the past. And then I just got all of my power back. I don't know how to explain it. It's crazy, but like I promise once you do it, you will notice that energetic shift. It's like nothing that you can see. It's hard to describe it, but you just know it's a feeling. Okay. Another thing to be conscious of is what are you feeding your mind and body? Obviously, like the very obvious things are like your nutrition. If you're feeding yourself junk food every day, it's probably not going to be the best. Like you're probably going to be feeling lethargic. Another thing to look out for is the TV that you watch. I know it's hard to understand because we can't physically see the energy, but we can definitely feel it, and we do feed off of energy. Everybody does. So if you're watching toxicity on the TV, that's what you're feeding into your mind, and it's going to affect how you show up to the world. And an even simpler way to understand it is think about when kids, whatever they watch on TV, that's who they're being influenced by, and then they start to act that way without noticing at school because they just think that's how they, should act, or that's who they idolize. It's not to that same gravity when we're adults because we've already been conditioned and we've already been shaped and influenced by a lot of other people, but it still plays the same role, just on a little bit of a smaller scale. And same goes for social media. You could very easily clean up your social media feed, mute whoever if you're comparing yourself to people in your hometown or maybe somebody that you look up to and you catch yourself like feeling bad about yourself because you're not doing whatever that other person is doing, then mute them. It's magical how once you clean up your feed, like on your TikTok page, Instagram, whatever you're on, like who you decide to follow. I got to the point where I muted so many people, which I love, but I just, needed to cut out the noise and just focus on what I wanted to focus on, which was manifesting stuff. So I started to follow accounts that focused on like manifesting, on love, and because I also wanted to educate myself. So then scrolling through social media wasn't so draining, and after a while it was actually an enjoyable experience. I wasn't then getting off the app like feeling bad about myself. I was feeling empowered and motivated to keep going with my manifesting journey because that's what I filled up my entire feed with. You could also just delete your social media, but obviously I understand baby steps, so that's a good first baby step. Okay, another thing is using your emotions. So you got to clear out all the emotions within you, like the fear, the limiting beliefs, any sadness. Clear all of that out. And then you can consciously like use positive emotion to help you get back into that energetic field. So kind of like what I was saying, like after I cleared everything out this morning from journaling, then I felt light. And then I was like, okay, now where do I want to go from here? And then by taking my power back and deciding like, oh, I am wealthy, I then just was like happy again and believed in myself, and I was self-confident. So that's also how you can help use your emotions. Another thing with just like the lucky girl syndrome, or kind of like how everything goes your way, realistically, it's you're operating in the field of abundance. But how you can get yourself into that, other than just deciding, is positive expectations. So it's all your perspective. There's nothing to worry about. It'll work out for us. Like, things always work out for me, and I know that they do. There's really no other option. So like, I don't have anything to stress about. And just start telling yourself that every day, and then find little things throughout the day that do go your way. So then that's like proof that what you're saying is true. And then the more that you look for it throughout the day, like the more proof that you're going to find. And then it's just going to become a belief and a part of your reality. Like, you're eventually not going to question it. It's going to be a fact. Other thing is aligning your actions. Try to align your actions, with whatever belief you're trying to manifest into your life. Obviously, stressful times are going to come up, but the more that you get into the habit of like embodying the person that you do want to be, the easier that it'll become. And it will feel really forceful at first. Just do it little by little, a little more and more every day. And eventually it's just going to be who you are. Okay, and then the last thing is prayers. By this, I grew up Catholic, so I don't mean like sitting down to pray the rosary. It's just short statements that you can either say out loud, or sometimes I'll just type them out or write them out as I'm journaling. It's more of a conscious decision that you're making to get back into your energetic field. So the thing is, the answers are always available to us. It's just a matter of whether our vision, like our beer goggles, are off. That way our vision is clear enough so we can see the answers that have always been right in front of us. So if I ever do notice, like, okay, going back to how lethargic I was this morning, sometimes when I am like that and like I'm just feeling a lot of resistance and like I don't know what to do next, or a lot of times too, like if I have to make a decision and I just really can't make up my mind, I'll just pray to the universe real quick. Usually I'll say something like, universe, thank you so much for always guiding me. Please show me the next best step that is in alignment with my highest self. And so just by saying that, it kind of helps you take those beer goggles off, so then you can focus on the answers that are already right in front of you. So it's not like the universe is coming to help you, because the universe is always helping you. It's just up to you to do the work to like clear out all the energy in your body and get that energy moving in your body, so then you can see clearly and, stay on that right aligned path. And when I'm on that aligned path, when I'm aligned with my highest self or my highest good, I like to call it the flow state. And so a really easy way to look at it is you're just going with the flow. And when you are going with the flow, that's when everything just happens to go your way. And you just live like a beautiful, magical life. And it's like no problems are faced. It's like the universe has taken care of all the problems for you. And so literally, like, go with the flow. Next time that an issue comes up in a situation that you're in, just go with the flow. Just don't stress, just whatever, it'll work itself out. It really always does. And the cool thing about living with this philosophy is it does get you in that vibrational flow state, but also that is when you start to get out of your own way, because the universe really does have everything figured out for us. So when we can just go with the flow, it's like we're following the breadcrumbs that the universe is leaving for us, and we're just like taking it step by step. But then when we try to like take control of everything because we want to know how it's going to work out, and we can't just let go and we can't just go with the flow, we are slowing down our own goodness. Like, we are just getting in our own way. So let go of the fear, let go of the control, let go of the stress, and just go with the flow. I promise it'll be worth it. So any desire that you have, it's already yours. And it's so important to understand this because part of the hurdles that people come up with in trying to manifest something is believing that they're worthy of it. But whatever you're desiring, that is your intuition planning that in your head. So whatever you're intrigued by or whatever you think that you want, even if you don't realize right now that that's your intuition talking to you, like that's the carrot being dangled over your head, like the little shiny thing. Your intuition knows what is going to get your attention and motivate you and like get you to commit to working towards it. So it'll keep you focused. And it's already, so, okay. Let's say that going back to money, let's say that I'm trying to desire money. I'm at point A and I have to get all the way to Z in order to receive the money. So it's already in my field. I'm standing here at A and there's all these energetic layers. And then Z is the last energetic layer where the money is being held. So the energetic field for money and layer Z, it's all very clear energy. There's no fear, no anger, nothing at all attached to it. So I'm at A right now, and I have to match the energy field of Z if I want to pull it into my reality. So what I have to do is right now I'm standing in A with limiting beliefs, anger, frustration, fear. I'm trying to control everything. So money's chilling over here at Z. It's not going anywhere. It's for me. It's in my path. Like it's right down the road. No one else can take it. It's for me. That's why my intuition, my third eye saw it. And it's like, oh, hey, I want that. And like, it's ours, let's go get it. So now I have the manifesting process is me doing the work of like going through B, C, D, all of these energetic layers that are blocking me right now from being an energetic match right away. So all the energetic layers in between are the fears, the limiting beliefs, the frustrations, thinking that I'm not worthy of it, just whatever I need to work through. And so the cool thing about why I fell in love with manifesting and why now I want to like preach it to the world or whoever will listen to me is because yes, it's a cool desire. Like if I'm desiring money, yes, that's a cool thing that I'll get at the end of the day. But what's so cool is all of the work that I'm doing to get there. Like I'm going to come out a better version of myself from it. Like how nice is it to let go of the fear and the control and just be relaxed and allow the universe to just provide for me. So energy alignment is really just about stepping into consciousness and the present moment. And you don't have to have such a dramatic backstory like the New Yorker badass boss babe example that I used. The majority of humanity is walking around their day-to-day lives unconscious. They're just zoned into the matrix, brushing off their emotions aside. Everyone's just laser focused on working or whatever their role is in society. And they haven't like pulled themselves out to just be present like the trees and everything else in nature is. Like everyone's just so sucked into their own world. So you could have had the perfect childhood growing up, which I promise you no one has had a perfect childhood or adulthood. Nothing in this life is perfect. But anyway, you could have had like the most close to perfect situation. And even still, it's normal human nature to experience fear, stress, anger, and all of that. So it's just about being emotionally aware and also being in tune with our spirituality to be able to work through those emotions and hard moments that come up and then know how to get back to the present moment and be in energetic alignment. Think of two young kids, maybe like late teens or early 20s, who didn't have the best parental guidance. Now they're addicted to drugs and they don't have a lot of ambition, or maybe they do have a lot of ambition, but they're right now drug addicts. So that's kind of what their whole life revolves around. So they end up having a kid together. So let's say that the dad overdoses on drugs. So then it's just the mom left to take care of the kid by herself. And the mom tries to step it up for a little bit, but she gets really overwhelmed. She also has deep-rooted issues, which is why she was an addict, and she keeps relapsing. So she just doesn't believe in herself to be the most equipped mother for the kid at that time. So she gives the kid away. And then the kid ends up going into the foster system and has a really hard time there. And the kid, her entire life pretty much feels abandoned. Not even her own two parents could take care of her. And then no one in the foster system could truly step up. It was just replicas of her parents, like other drug addicts who just need money from the government. Okay, so the girl, starts being on her own at 16, and it's obviously hard. Now she's having to figure life out by herself. So naturally and understandably so, a lot of resentment and anger is going to be piled on to the anger and resentment that she already carries from her childhood when no one could take care of her. So now let's fast forward into her adulthood, let's say, I don't know, maybe her 30s or 40s. And she did it. She managed to take care of herself. She figured it out. Her street smarts got her a really long way. Now she's making a ton of money. Now she has her own child, and she's making a point to be a way better parent to this kid than her parents ever were. She's going to raise the child, provide for her, and, just give her a better opportunity than what this girl had. And she's in a beautiful marriage. So the one issue that society doesn't really teach us is how to work through our emotions. This is something that you either have to go to therapy and seek this help out on your own, or unless your parents are emotionally available and aware, then they'll teach you this. But because of the society that our parents get brought up in, they're not really aware of a lot of these things either. So the anger and the resentment and the frustration, all of those feelings get carried into the girl's life every single day until she decides to just work through them. But she most likely didn't know to work through them. So she's still carrying them with her. So now she's at the point in this career where she's making a lot of money and she doesn't even realize how angry and crazy she shows up every day. And it's because she's carrying walls. She's to this day still guarded because she knows where she came from, and she knows her belief is that she takes care of herself and that no one else is going to take care of her. So people want to be her friend. People see that she's great at business and they want to collaborate with her, do brain deals with her, or figure out how to network with her. And she always just finds the littlest reasons for why she doesn't trust them. So it's like the universe will bring us abundance, like gifts, money, opportunities through other people. So this is a great example of how the universe is literally bringing her even more abundance than she already has, but she's rejecting it because she doesn't see it as abundance. She just sees it as people, and she has walls up that she's not willing to let down. So part of the work of manifesting is learning how to let your walls down, which seems like a really scary thing, because part of this girl's fears could be, I've got to protect myself in order to thrive and succeed, because I am the only one who is going to get me there to thrive and succeed. Even though in reality, there are a lot of other people who could help her along the way and could help her get a lot farther than she has gotten herself to, but she has to let her walls down in order to do that. So we're going to explore this further throughout the course, and I'm going to give you the tools on how to work through your emotions and surrender to them and allow them to guide you and not be so afraid of them, as well as meditating and other stuff to get you to the present moment. Because the point that I'm trying to make is you have the power to consciously choose how you react to a situation. Like this girl, she has the power. She doesn't realize it. Somebody needs to teach her, but she has the power to consciously decide if she wants to invite these people into her life that are knocking at her door, like wanting to be friends with her or collaborate with her work-wise, just how she has the power to put her walls up and reject them when they haven't even given her a reason to be rejected. And so how this relates to energy alignment is because in order to align with the energy of your desire, that can only be done in the present moment. But a lot of times people get stuck in the past or the future. Like this girl, she is stuck fearing her past. A lot of times people can maybe not have as traumatic of a past, but they could be maybe fearing the future, like what's going to happen in the future. How am I going to figure this out? How am I going to pay my bills? Whatever. There's a lot of stories that cross our mind. But the thing is, they're all stories that we keep telling ourselves, and it's up to us. We have the power to make the conscious decision of whether we want to believe those stories or not. When we decide to stop believing them, then we are just left with the present moment, because the reality is, in the present moment, that has nothing to do with our past. Like the girl, living in New York, making a ton of money, being a badass boss babe, that moment has nothing at all to do with her parents abandoning her and her experience in the foster care system. Like, she is making the conscious decision to bring all of that past and baggage into the present moment, into her work day. And everyone around her, all of her coworkers, the people that she's doing brain deals, they have nothing to do with her past. And so even though she doesn't realize it, that she's like consciously taking out her resentment on these innocent people, she is. So anyway, in order to get to the present moment, you have to let go of fear and control. When you do that, because if you're being stressed out about the past, it's because there's something that happened in the past, which is now wanting you to be fearful of the present or what's going to happen in the future. So you end up wanting to control the situation so that you don't end up there again. And then same thing with, focusing on the future. So once you do the work to clear all that out, to let go of the fears, then there's no reason for you to fear anything. Like, you've worked through it all, and then there's no reason for you to control anything. So then you're left with the present moment, which is essentially just being. Think about the trees that are just standing, chilling there, wherever they're rooted into the ground, and then they're just producing oxygen. They're being their thing. They are in the present moment, just being. So that's our goal. So in the present moment, that's where you can access clear energy without all the baggage attached to it. And standing in the clear energetic field is where you make yourself available to receive abundance. Because going back to the New Yorker boss babe, because of her fear of the past, she is standing in fear and control and anger. Those are the energetic fields that she is standing in and constantly carrying into every moment of the day with her. So that fear, even though the gifts are coming to her, they're literally right in front of her, it's her energy that's blocking them. So she has to work through all of the fear, the limiting beliefs, the insecurities. Then those fields get cleared out, and then all that's left is like this clear energetic field. So then she's able to truly listen to like this person being like, hey, I want to be your friend, or hey, I want to work on this brand deal. I love what you're doing. Like, let's collaborate. And then she has no reason to fear that. Then she's able to accept the abundance. So receiving your desires from the universe, it's a co-creative game, but it's fun, it's lighthearted, it's not a stressful thing, and it'll work with anything that your desire is, but everybody can relate to money, so I'll use money as an example. Let's say that you are trying to manifest money. So I think it's safe to assume that you're probably stressed about your current financial situation. Think of money as another human being, like as a friend. Whenever you're stressed out about money, you resent money, you hate money, you don't love money. Think of someone who doesn't have enough money to pay for all of their bills for the month. They're probably not sitting there being like, oh, I love money. Money is like such a fun tool in life. They're probably freaking out like, oh, how do I make more of it? That's like desperate negative energy. And now think of like a normal human being. Who wants to be around that? Who wants to be your friend when you're resenting that person and what they have to provide? Say that I'm the money fairy and you're walking around all day like talking poorly about money. Why would I want to come near you? I'd be like, oh, she hates me. But then think of somebody who is aware of their abundance and they're having fun, like, using money to make more money. I'll probably be more inclined to go to that person and be like, hey, let's hang out. It's a very similar thing like to that girl where the abundance, the gifts are like right in front of her. They're out here. And then it's all these limiting beliefs and energetic fields filled with frustration, anger, fear, all that are blocking her from being a magnetic match to the money that's all the way out here that's trying to be given to her. The universe is never just going to like hand you $1 million on a silver platter and say, here you go. Obviously, if that were the case, you'd probably see that and be like, oh my God, yes, I'll take it. But again, it comes in subtle ways and you kind of have to work towards it. You have to follow the breadcrumbs, which are the directions of the universe, which will guide you to that $1 million. But whenever you're so stressed out and that's all you're focused on, and then even if you notice a sign from the universe saying like, hey, do this, because you can't see the end result of how that little step right here is going to lead all the way to the end where you'll get the money, then you're like, no, like all I can focus my time on right now is getting the money. But it's like you're trying to go from point A all the way to point Z, and there's no avoiding like B, D, C, E, F, like everything all the way in between. So with manifesting, it's giving you all the letters in between, and you just have to let go of the fear, the resistance, all of that, so that you can start shedding off those energetic layers that are not helping you. And then as you slowly shed them off, like by working on your fears, your insecurities, which you don't think have anything to do with your desire, but they actually have everything to do with the desire. They're like what's blocking you from receiving that desire. So the more that you shed off, like, or step out of all of these toxic energetic alignments or energetic fields that you're in, then all that'll be left is the clear energetic field that you need to be in. So then you can just walk a straight path all the way down to Z. Hey there, my fellow dreamers. Are you tired of feeling stuck in your weight loss journey? Do you find yourself constantly struggling to achieve your dream body despite trying every diet and workout plan out there? Well, I've got some exciting news for you. Introducing the second edition of my groundbreaking ebook, The Dream Body Manifesto. This quick and easy read will guide you through the secret world of manifestation, helping you unlock the power within to effortlessly transform your body and mind. I know firsthand that everybody's body transformation journey is unique. Losing weight isn't always as simple as hitting the gym or cutting calories. Sometimes the key to success lies in understanding your body's specific needs. The Dream Body Manifesto will help you identify and attract the personalized solution that's right for you. And here's the best part. You don't have to drive yourself crazy with restrictive diets or grueling workouts. The Dream Body Manifesto teaches you how to take the intuitive approach to weight loss. By tapping into your inner wisdom and aligning your mind, body, and spirit, you'll discover a path that's not only effective, but also enjoyable and sustainable. Imagine achieving your dream body without the stress, frustration, and constant setbacks. With the Dream Body Manifesto, you'll learn how to do less and achieve more, making your weight loss journey a fun, easy, and effortless experience. Transform your body and your life with the Dream Body Manifesto. The link is in the show notes. Happy manifesting, and remember, your dream body is just a mindset shift away.